Hello and welcome on behalf of the Law Society of Nunavut to one CLE in our series of continuing legal education offerings. I would encourage you to check out our website if you're not already aware of our offerings. They are all free of charge, and the recordings, including the recording of this session, are available online. I want to thank Brenta Alm, who's Manager Partnerships and Content with Canlii, for providing this session on tips and tools for efficient legal research, including AI on Canlii, which is, of course, tremendously beneficial to practicing lawyers, but also beneficial from an access to justice perspective because there is no cost for accessing these tools. Again, thank you, Brenda, and I will turn the floor over to you.
Wonderful, and thank you so much, Rebecca, for having me here. It is also wonderful to be able to present to our users in Nunavut. I'm just going to go off camera here as I go into the slides and get started here. So a little bit of a snapshot of what we'll cover today, and some of it's going to include recently introduced new features such as AI generated summaries. And I guess actually, you know, truthfully, it's been a little while now, so it's starting to get to be not newly introduced, but it might be new to some of you. Um, and also existing tools that might be overlooked, such as noting up and legislative point in time tools. And we'll also briefly touch upon searching within Canlii and how to get the most out of it. And there is a lot to cover today, and so we'll try to get to everything while leaving some time for Q&A. I'll also provide these slides as a handout that will have speaker notes if you miss any details of interest, or also linking out to further guidance as well. So Rebecca, I'll do that after this session and send that to you for the group. So a little bit first about Canlii. Canlii was established to make Canadian law accessible for free on the internet. And Canlii and Lexim actively participate in the free access to law movement and support the objectives set out in the Montreal Declaration on free access to law. And I mentioned Lexim, and I'll get to them in a moment in that connection between the two. But initially, Canlii started by publishing current cases, so court and tribunals sent to them as they were written. And over time, Canlii expanded its collection to include cases and tribunal decisions, statutes, regulations from all Canadian jurisdictions. And so it's also offered access to a diverse range of secondary legal materials, including law books, journals, articles, reports, and other relevant resources. So that takes up a bulk of my main day of taking care of the commentary section. And these materials are located in the commentary section on the Canlii website. And Canlii continues to evolve with recent developments, including but not limited to AI-generated summaries, which offer concise overviews of case law and legislation, deep linking for commentary content. So it offers precise referencing within those legal analysis. And of course, tools like My Canlii, noting up, legislative point in time, all of which enhance legal research efficiency, and all of which I will cover today as well. So Canlii played a significant role in advancing the principles of free access to legal information by signing that Montreal Declaration of Free Access to Law that I mentioned. And Canlii's endorsement of the Montreal Declaration reflects its dedication to open access, justice, the rule of law, and this participation in global efforts contributes to a more transparent and equitable legal landscape for all. So I mentioned earlier about Lexim, and Lexim is a software company that produces online tools for the management and dissemination of legal information. And it originated out of a University of Montreal research laboratory group established by Professor Danielle Poulin in the early 1990s. And it's been Canlii's primary strategic technology partner since its inception. Canlii entirely relies on the technology developed by Lexim, encompassing document conversion, the search engine, its citator, My Canlii alerts, as well as now the AI generated classifications and keywords. And so today, Lexim continues to provide and maintain all of the software and services required to operate Canlii. So we're going to get started with some basic concepts. To give you a heads up, I'm going to be moving between this PowerPoint slide and giving live demos. So hopefully it won't get confusing and you can follow along easy. We'll start with refining your legal research using keywords. So on the slide is an example search. I'm going to use keywords from a preset search run in these sessions, but this can easily apply to finding cases that cover a relevant topic to you. And in this case, let's say you were interested in cases that discuss how the Canadian Charter applies to a child custody application. So some of the terms you might pull out to put into your search are circled. And now you could put each of these words into the search, and on the slide is a snapshot of what your results look like. You can get some pretty good results. But as you can see, you have over 7,000 results. So you definitely would be wanting to narrow down your search results using proximity operators. So going into Canlii for a search, let's say we take that search from those keywords that we saw on the slide. So we've got child /s, and then in custody application in quotations. And then we also want to add in charters. So more on these Boolean operators shortly. So I'm just going to run that search for now. So you can press enter, or you can press on the magnifying glass, and you'll see here we have 59 cases. And from here, you can further narrow by jurisdiction, by court level, by date, by subject. And also, if you click on this question mark for the search box, you'll get a pop-up window that states that default search terms in this search engine are processed with a logical and. So, however, if you want to change this default process, you can employ those Boolean operators, which I did in this example with that forward s slash retrieving documents containing both terms in the same sentence, as well as using quotation marks around the keywords to form a phrase. And so in this instance, we get results where child must be in the same sentence as custody application, and we'll include the word charter anywhere in this case. So if, I could have put all of these keywords in here, and certainly it's just going to think of child and custody and application and charter. But if I'm wanting to gain some more control over the results, doing this with the Boolean will certainly help. Going into one of the cases here, I'll also point your attention to how you can turn off some of the search terms. So at the top of your screen, you'll see a little box with check boxes next to the terms. And, now assuming a term like charter is probably going to come up a lot and you want to go straight to the sections of interest, you could just unselect that and then go directly with the little arrows straight to the areas that have either custody application or child and the remaining search terms that you have there. So a little bit more about Boolean. So it does involve using specific words and symbols to instruct the search engine precisely on what you want it to return. And you can use Boolean search when you need stricter control over the types of results that you see. So as I noted, you can click on that question mark in the search box for a full description of what each of the operators does, but the most frequently used are and or not. And then going on to another feature that can often be overlooked or forgotten is the Canlii's display options, which gives you flexible viewing modes to navigate through your search results, review documents faster, easier. And to give you an idea of what that looks like and using a bit of a fun search that I like to do, I'll go back. I don't want to go right into the case. I'll just click on here. So you can see here, display options. We've got this new tag here because results only is a new one. It lets you customize exactly what information appears in your search results, and you can toggle it on. You can toggle on and off things like other metadata, like title, reference, document details, or enrichments like short summaries where it's available, or classification and keywords. And you can see the difference of the view there where we see the classification and keywords are not there if we don't want to see them, as well as snippets. In this case, I'll just go into cases right here to have a little bit of a better, to show you a better kind of idea of snippets. Is if, let's say, actually, I think this particular search for the snippets, because this is a new feature, but normally you'll just see kind of like the within your keywords. I probably didn't have enough in here if I went back to my original search that we were at earlier with those keywords results. And I've got the snippets here and I can, take those away, and that's what that would look like. And then for reading pane, this is one that, just allows you to see the full contents of a document in your search results without leaving the page. So if you're just wanting to kind of scroll around, you're not really sure, where you want to be at the moment within the search results, you can keep those there and be able to scroll around and look through multiple documents while maintaining those results lists on the left. Great, so automatic subject classification. It's using Lexim's generative AI program, LexKey, and it is an advanced artificial intelligence feature developed by Lexim for Canlii website. And the automatic classification feature leverages artificial intelligence algorithms and natural language processing techniques to automatically categorize legal documents by subject. And so the automatic classification enhances the search experience on the Canlii website, making it easier for users to contextualize individual results in a long list of search results. So it'll analyze the content and context of legal documents. It assigns appropriate subjects in the form of tags to each document. And these subjects can include areas of law, legal topics, jurisdictions, court levels, and the subjects are integrated into the snippets, accompanying each results alongside those AI-powered keywords. So they're also available as a search filter under the cases search tab. So hundreds of thousands of judicial decisions have been automatically assigned one or more subjects, and the new language-based system has learned from historical law reports such as the Canadian Supreme Court reports and federal court reports and many others. So that's how it gets assigned, is the learning that it's done from those type of reports. Since the beginning of June 2023, AI-generated subject classification of decisions on Canlii has also been expanded to all Canadian jurisdictions except for Quebec. As even though the subjects have been translated into French, the automatic classification doesn't support French decisions just yet. So noting up, we're going to move on to this. So say that, let's say you are researching cases concerning a dispute and maybe involving a restrictive covenant and an easement registered against the defendant's property. And during your research, you've discovered that there is a case that appears to be a leading one decided by the Court of Appeal of British Columbia for as an example. And apologies that it's not geared toward Nunavut. I usually just have these as set kind of searches that are put into here with the different jurisdictions and using British Columbia as an example on that. And let's say you want to know how many times the case has been cited. So we'll go into Canlii, and I'm going to just type in the decision of interest that I'm looking for. So this one right here. Actually, I'll just want to go in and go right. I'll just type in don't want to go directly to it because I want to show you the results from here. Actually, I want the 2013 BCCA. Oh, sorry, that's a user error right here. As you can see, I need to be down here in my note up window. So that's a good example there. If you don't come up with the note up in the view, it could be you're typing it in the case name, such as I just did. All right, so from here, um, you'll see 135 cases that are citing this particular decision. And from here, you can limit your search and the drop down and see where different jurisdictions have cited the case. So let's say, for example, I want to see from British Columbia and further narrow it down by all courts and tribunals. Maybe I select all tribunals. And then you'll see here I've got 52 at that tribunal level in British Columbia that have cited this particular decision. You can also narrow by citation intensity, so more on this in a moment, and then also by paragraph level if you so choose. So a little detour, as I mentioned, and this one's about the information, I call it the legal information Scoville scale, but otherwise known as the jalapenos, the citation intensity level that we just saw. That in that drop down of where you could have sorted it from treatment. So, decisions are getting longer and it's making it more challenging to find the most important parts of the decisions that you're browsing. And so there was a need to find a way to help you figure out, where you should direct your attention first. And so thanks to our sorting algorithm, the more intense the discussion, the spicier it gets. So it can get up to 5 jalapenos. Um, and there's nothing better than just seeing it live. So we'll go in for an example of what that what this looks like. And then we'll click on the treatment tab. You can see that there's 97 citations. And then for the blue jalapenos, we have 10 discussions that range from 2 to 4 blue jalapenos. Blue jalapenos indicate the discussion intensity being meaning a case discusses your case more extensively. So cases are sorted by this intensity, bringing the more thorough discussions to the top of your note up results. And then you'll see we've got 3 yellow jalapenos of unfavorable mentions, which detects language suggesting a case may be criticized, distinguished, or questioned. So not overruled, but treated negatively. So you can also get more of a flavor of this with that follow-up of the materials with links to a detailed blog post that goes into even further detail of that because we don't have a lot of time to get fully into it, but that gives you an idea of it for now. As well, it's also been really exciting times um, for Canley with AI summarization, and I've already mentioned it earlier, but thanks to the support of law foundations, including your jurisdiction, AI summarization has expanded significantly across Canada, and we now are really pleased to report that summaries of nearly all historical case law, consolidated statutes, regulations from jurisdictions across Canada are now and will be available on Canley. So, um, looking ahead, let's actually get into an example of what these AI summarizations look like. Actually, we'll go into Um, as we can see here, we've got the left-hand bar, and you can click on AI analysis, and this will take you into that AI summary. And you can see here we've got the facts and procedure, party submissions, so right down to the reasons here. And the nice thing about this as well is that you can see here by paragraph level of what these sections are referencing. It will directly warp you to that area for that due diligence on your part to take a look at the source itself. If you don't want to see it, you don't have to. You can just toggle it off, but it is there if you need it. Um, and as you can see here, we've got it clearly noted that this is AI generated. You can also switch between English and French without you having to toggle English and French and change the whole interface. And that's also something that we've been working on moving towards just comprehensive bilingual enrichments. So including a French case, legislative summaries, descriptive titles, enhanced search features like sentence length summaries and subject classifications. But within that is also this feature that allows other, like if, for example, you were looking at a French decision, you would be able to toggle it to English without having to um, go on to, as before, the French side of Canlii. Um, so, initially because I'm in the Saskatchewan one for a reason, is that initially this project was funded by the Law Foundation of, of Saskatchewan. And it was used to help develop the infrastructure of um, of this project proposed, and it is drawing on the Canlii pilot project that was originally done, where the Lexim Lab had leveraged an LLM, a large language model, to generate short and standardized summaries on Canlii Connects. And so the summaries are designed in accordance with the structure of legal reasoning. So as we see here, the facts and the procedures. Um, again, I think the strength of this tool is being able to, go directly to the corresponding paragraph within the body of the corresponding case, making it easy to confirm or not the validity of its analysis. So with all AI tools, we advise legal professionals to use their best judgment to assess the accuracy of this analysis. So I'm going to also show you a bit about my Canley. There are some changes that are coming up. So, this is kind of pending. Right now, this is from what I show you, what you see right now with using my Canley, but there will be some pending changes forthcoming. So just as a side note, but my Canley, I'll go into the tool itself. I'm already logged in right now, and this is my one that I've set up. And it is a supplementary tool on Canley that can help you keep track of your legal research online by allowing you to view your browsing history, save cases, create and organize folders, and set up alerts. It is free, so signing up requires only your name, email, and password. And you can have free access to research folders and 5 gigs of online storage space. You can set up 100 citation alerts. Um, and so, kind of moving around in here, you can see I've set up folders. I also can add notes to myself. I can download the sources. I can move them, delete when they're no longer needed. I can create new bookmarks right now, upload documents. And here's some alerts that have been set up that are running, and this little clock here denotes the alert. And then you can see in here, if I were to save cases, this gavel uh, um, lets me know that it's a case. So as you can see, I can also bundle all these. I can put all of my alerts and cases of legislation all into one folder, organize it that way as well. So we've got just as I mentioned, Canley is evolving, and you can learn more about that with a click on this link if you wanted to learn a little bit more. And within Canley itself, what that looks like, all of the folders that this turns into. From that is within a case, you can, if something looks of interest, you can click on save this case, and you can put notes to yourself, name the folder or select a folder that you've already created. You can set up citation alerts from here as well. You can see those jalapenos that we learn about, and you can select the citation or the intensity discussion level. So you can, if you only want to see the most thoroughly talked about, you can set it to the top. And then you can also choose how often you want to get these alerts from the citations, or rather from the alerts. Um, I'll also go to a case. Because I want to show you paragraph and heat map tools next. So I'm going to go to a case that has kind of a good example, or rather do a search that pulls up some good example ones. All right, so um, as you can see here, there is this heat uh, map on the side, and some pencil icons here. And these are paragraph level tools that are handy for analyzing and extracting relevant information from the legal decision. So diving into this, first off, we see these pencil icons here. When browsing a decision, you'll see these beside the paragraphs, which gives you the ability, when you're logged into My Canley, the option to annotate or set up alerts. You also see the number of citing documents as well. So in this case, there's 20 for that particular paragraph. At that particular paragraph level, there's also the heat map tool as well. So as you can see, when I click on it, it will take me directly to the most cited parts of the case. The more frequently a paragraph has been cited in subsequent cases, the darker the area will be. So as you can see, we go up to kind of a lighter blue. We've only got one, but if we go to a nice dark blue here, now we're getting into 105, 29. And again, you're just able to kind of warp around in here and get a little bit of a snippet preview before you warp to it if it looks to be of interest. So, basically the purpose of these tools is to help you just quickly understand the key points of the legal case, and, just kind of highlighting the important paragraphs. So we've talked a lot about the case law side of things, and I was going to show you a tool for legislation. But before that, just quick recap of, Canley reproduces consolidations of statutes and regulations as published by official printers from the federal and provincial jurisdictions. Um, and let's say going to prior and updated versions of legislative materials. I think maybe I'll show you the legislative point in time with the Family Law Act. Usually has quite a bit of good comparison from this one. And this legislative point in time tool on Canley is really a popular one and kind of, a little bit of an overlooked one at times, but it was my background as a research librarian, one of my favorite tools, and I know many others that have used it kind of lived off of it. But it provides access to the current up-to-date version of consolidated legislative texts and past versions so that you can see how the text has evolved over time. So clicking on this versions tab right here, let's say I wanted to see between 2021 and 2022 and how it's evolved, let's say since the current version. And we'll click on compare. And then you'll see this side by side here, and then you'll see where this green highlight is, where it has evolved and changed since um, its last version. And unchanged paragraphs are automatically hidden. So you can see that here, unchanged. And the reason why that they're hidden is just to make it faster, easier to see the differences between the versions of legislation. Especially can be particularly useful when you are comparing long statutes, faster loading time, less scrolling. But it does make note of where it's hidden and then really just gets you to the crux of it of where the changes have been made and have that side by side. So moving on to Canley's commentary. Before I do that, I just wanted to check in with also keeping in mind um, we're doing good for time. If there's any questions that anybody has or anything they wanted to ask. All right, so Canley's commentary section is really valuable for insights and expert opinions during your legal research and for understanding the context behind court decisions. And so Canley's commentary section covers a wide range of practice areas, research topics, and the section is dynamic. So new content is added regularly. And I would, continue to suggest checking back regularly for latest insights. And this is one area that, will be wanting to continue to grow and to evolve, as much as um, having all of the content for case law and legislation and having AI summarization there to help understand what you're looking at. Commentary works the same way, right? And it's is equally important. And from the home page, you can see this link here to books, articles, and more. Really, I have to say that from this page right here, it's just a highlight of what we have in here, but you're going to be wanting to do your searches for commentary from the home page within um, the search bar, because honestly, that's going to be at the moment your best way to filter, see where materials of interest for specific topics, cases, legal concepts of interest. Um, and so I'm just going to do just kind of a quick search just to show you what that looks like. So I've popped this keyword search in here, and I'm going to click on the commentary tab. And really, this is your best entry point into the commentary section. So within your search results, you can narrow by clicking on all subjects tab, and let's say your search terms have you dealing with a file that falls within the subject area of contracts, and you can check mark this subject and your results will adjust to 169. So much more manageable than that initial several thousand that show up with that. But it goes to show you that there's quite a bit of content that's in there to be able to take a look at. And you can also change to the different types, journals, and then narrow by publication date, and has like as well the snippets that are in here. So nice way to just kind of take a look at the commentary section and browse anything of interest. As well, Canley connects. So we'll go back to the main page, and that's also under commentary. Canley Connects is was created to serve, both legal professionals and the public, and it provides a space where lawyers and scholars with professional expertise in legal analysis can share their insights and, collectively form opinions on Canadian court rulings. And, let's say, for example, there's, just a current awareness that you're wanting to do, and you just want to see what's out there of current cases or commentary on a particular topic. You can filter by jurisdictions as well. You can even follow particular authors. Let's say you are interested in what Nadia Effendi has to say, and you could start to follow and take a look to see. You can also see for publishers. Um, you know, let's say you're taking a look for Blaney McCurdy, and you want to follow what they're saying more frequently. So there's filters that are there. And Canley Connects, it hosts a database of these case commentary, case summaries that are contributed by the legal community, and it brings together those legal minds to engage in, discussions and sharing perspectives and enhance understanding of legal decisions as well, because it's also another entry point other than commentary, long form like journals and texts, to have an idea of what might be being said in the legal community of a particular topic or a particular specific case. So visitors can use it free of charge. Legal professionals and interest that are interested in signing up on the Canley Connects website can establish an account, and then Canley discerns the the capacity to analyze and comment on the law. So anybody who is a commentator on here has applied in that way, and we have criteria that it applies to in order to get an account. Um, and one little fun fact, if you have a keen eye and maybe you've been to Canley Connects and you've seen it, you might have noticed that the Lexham Lab um, profile has this profile of an adorable kitten. Um, yeah, I think I might actually just do it from up here. Publisher, Lexham, and search for Lexham Lab. You see that kitten that's there, and this is one of my favorite stories, and why partly, one of the reasons why I love Canley and Lexham. But if anybody recalls, after that viral video, there was this Texas lawyer. He appeared in a virtual court session on Zoom, and he was saying, "I'm here live. I'm not a cat." So during that time, Canley actually briefly changed the maple leaf in the Canley logo to this kitten. And so the kitten, it's now growing, and his back is Canlii. So it's a very delightful blend of AI prowess and inquisitiveness of a cat. So it's merging the power of leading LLMs to generate concise and standardized summaries of legal cases. And so that's what this Canlii Lexim Lab is this project that are subsequent AI summarizations that we just saw today derive from. And so this continues the Lexham Lab with Canlii at the helm, generating these AI analysis case commentary. It's a little bit of lore that I always love to tell everybody. All right, so our authors program, it thrives and survives the commentary section with the contributions of legal professionals contributing their works. And so the development of open publishing, created an opportunity for Canley to lead the development for professional legal information. And so the increased volume of published law, it means better tools need to navigate. And so Canley consistently pursues creative ways of helping researchers manage this. And one of the best and most proven ways is by providing commentary, and it directs attention to the most important content. So for this reason, we've developed capacity to publish legal commentary over the last several years, including Canley's companion website, Canley Connects, that we just came from, and Canley's commentary section, which, as you know, has books and journals. Members of the legal community have generously made available for free. So Canley has been developing a secondary materials collection with the moonshot, the goal to kind of take a space in commercial publishers' offerings, making it freely available online with the rest of Canley's content. And this will make Canley a really viable alternative to those large commercial services with very expensive paywalls. So we would like to invite
Like
you
what's
or
muted, so
Oh, is there anyone muted?
sorry, I'm hearing, is there somebody that has a question? All right. Oh, maybe it's just a little bit of feedback, but if you have a question and it didn't get through, just you can put it in the chat or you can check in with me right after. Just as I mentioned, I'm inviting you or someone that you recommend to join us in advancing open legal knowledge. So you can explore Canley and consider contributing to the authors program or suggesting it to somebody that you think would be a good fit. And one example, most recent one, is the Canadian Open Access Legal Citation Guide. It's the COLE. It's a great example of the commentary program on Canley. And this particular resource was created with a pan-Canadian team of editors led by a UBC law librarian, and it was written over the course of a year using the UBC Library's online legal citation guide as a framework. Published in 2024, it's gotten great acclaim as well as won some awards and provides a freely accessible guide to legal citation in Canada. So it's supporting legal professionals, academic students, and the public in citing legal sources accurately, and it promotes the open access to legal citation standards without those subscription paywalls. So the content covers citation rules for cases, legislation, secondary sources, and aligns with common legal citation practices, including examples and explanations to help with clarity and aid ease of use. And a French edition is also pending. So with that, I will turn my camera back on and see if there's any questions that anybody has. And like I said, I will be following up with Rebecca to send these materials. And like I mentioned as well, there's going to be the speaker notes that are in there, as well as links to additional resources that anything that kind of catches your eye that you would like to know more information on. If you don't even have a question right now, maybe one pops up to you later, I welcome you to reach out to Rebecca and she can forward that to me as well.
Well, thanks again, Brenda. Really appreciate your time and your presentation. And you had mentioned you would be sending some materials, which we will make available. Thanks again. And I guess
You're welcome.
everybody gets, 5 minutes back. I'm sure nobody minds. So,
Yes,
okay. Thanks very much.
some time back in your day. All
Take care,
right. Well, thank you,
everybody.
everyone.